Good morning. It's Wednesday, March 24th, and we are kind of still on the theme we started with yesterday because today is Luke chapter 6 and then verses 37 to 42, which is about judging. And there's something about human nature that is just inclined toward judging. It's partly, let me say this, how our brains work when we talk about cognitive bias. And now, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but because we have hundreds of thousands of decisions we're making every day, our brains automatically have already sorted into likes, dislikes, categorized things, and it makes it easy for us. For instance, if you walk into a restaurant, there are a bunch of things on that menu you just don't even need to look at. Well, most of us anyway, don't need to look at all of them because we already know there are some things we're just not going to like, right? So our brain is already categorizing. Now, unfortunately, what happens with bias is if we've had a bad experience with a certain kind of person, we may already have sort of categorized that as someone we don't like, or someone we're afraid of, or someone whatever. That's how our mind works. That's how bias works, which means that we are inclined to judge. And yet, the the way of Christ is constantly trying to pull us above judging the other and learning to simply love as God loves. There isn't any of us who's perfect. My goodness, how many mistakes have I made in my life and I continue to make? I really don't need anybody judging me because I know how short I will fall. But when someone approaches me with love, wow, that just makes such a difference. You know this in your own experience in life. And so, in drawing near to God, we try and get our minds with all its judging to sort of slow down, take on the mind of Christ, and try to see through Jesus's eyes and to love whoever is there in front of us. Because that is God's way. That's why our God is so amazing. We know who we are, and yet God loves us. So, it might help us today to ask, so what are those kinds of situations, or what kind of people am I more likely to judge that I need to ask the living Christ to help me to love? Because the more I love, the closer I am to the very heart of God.